Shana Tova, friends. A Jewish child went to school and on returning home was not asked, "What did you learn today?" but rather, "Did you ask any good questions today?" This story is credited to the Nobel laureate Isidore Isaac Rabbi, who won the Nobel Prize for Science. He credits his mother, a stereotypical Polish Jewish mama, for turning him into a scientist, always questioning, taking nothing for granted. This story I've heard many times in different ways. I don't remember when I first heard it, but it's always stuck with me. When I first looked it up, I was not surprised to see how Jewish it was. We are a people who ask questions. It's in our DNA, perhaps. Jewish learning is about questioning, not about answers, and is encouraged, especially at this time of year. We question our behaviors and the type of people we try to be, we want to be. The Unatane Tokef asks who will live and who will die, who will be rich, who will be poor, who will be unwell and who will be well, and so forth. I think it's one of the most moving, important, striking, and memorable of our prayers at this time. That and Avinu Malkeinu, of course, and Kol Nidre, and there are a few, aren't there? During the lead up to Rosh HaShanah, during the month of Elul, we're asked to recite Psalm 27, Achat Sha'alti, each day and every day during this time. We're supposed to end every service with it. Not Adon Olam, not Ein Kelohenu, or how good it is, but Achat Sha'alti. So what does Achat Sha'alti mean? It is named not for how it begins, but by its fourth verse. Psalm 27, verse 4 begins, Achat Sha'alti ma'etz Adonai, Ota avakesh, shivti beveitz Adonai kol yomei chayai, lachazot banam Adonai, ulevaker behechalo. One thing I ask of the Eternal, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Eternal all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Eternal, to frequent God's temple. What does it mean to ask one thing of God? Think about that for one moment. Just one thing. And that one thing can lead to living in God's house. Metaphorically, of course, one question can lead to a type of heaven on earth. If a question can lead to that, I think we would have found the answer to the meaning of life. How amazing, how incredible, how meaningful would that be? Yet are not the high holy days more a time for reckoning than for asking? We take account for what we have done. We make promises and assurances to ourselves, to others, to God, for future behaviors. Yet, today, perhaps, I'll not ask God for anything. Well, except for peace, maybe for healing. But perhaps today of all days, this Rosh HaShanah, I'll give God a break from my perpetual asking. Maybe I should go for the gratitude angle, as Rabbi Deborah Robbins suggests. Maybe it's time to bend toward gratitude, not supplication. Here are some phrases of gratitude for consideration. Thank you for the steps I take each day. Thank you for the connections I make through meaningful conversations. Thank you for smiling eyes over masks. Thank you for the opportunity to study Torah. Thank you for allowing us to reach this moment every new day of every new year. While true, sometimes the thank yous feel hollow. Sometimes they feel empty, overused, almost platitudes. And with the profundity of these high holy days, and yet even with gratitude and with no real requests, I'm still left trying to figure out, do I have a question? What is my achat sha'alti? What is my one question? Perhaps it should begin with a maybe, or a who can, or a when will, or a what if, or a where was, or a why did. They seem flat, don't they? Empty. Benign. Even torturous. The beginning of those questions seems so inward looking. I believe the question for today needs to be outward focused. Let me turn my ear to God once more. Achat sha'alti. If I could ask God for something, no, not for something. If there is one question I would ask from God, it would need to include action, compassion, concern. It would need to be about the other. My question, how can I help? What is your question? Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova.